So we're gonna get a poll rolling on this new song, but the good thing is that Derek Carty is a fan. According to John, Derek Carty is a fan of the song, and I think that means that on the projections for next year, what's the band again, John?
Leota.
The chances of a reunion just went up because Derek Carty is a fan. We've got to throw that on Fangraphs. Odds of reunion.
Yeah. So the like Venn diagram of fantasy baseball guys and like 2015 pop punk, probably not a lot of intersection there, but we've got a few.
Yeah, I think anything that sounds like an old video game that I used to play when I was 12 years old. It's like, okay, because those like the old Maddens, like any of those songs, it was like 15 songs on the whole game. And you would sit there and play for hours and hours the same game and hear the same 15 songs. So like, even though Yellow Card probably sucks, I like Yellow Card thanks to Madden or whatever.
Less Than Jake. Do you remember Less Than Jake?
Yeah.
That era is the best era. I think that era of human beings, we're all playing fantasy baseball now. Like, because we all seem to. Yeah. I was reading this. George Bissell from Roto World. He had me on for some NBC Roto World mock. Tim, were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, I read his article. It was really good, but I realized after, oh no, we're all just the same age guys. Like, we're all hitting our prime. So of course, the guy who's doing the Roto World articles is referencing nostalgic things that are not like if a 20-year-old was reading this stuff, he had no idea what we're talking about. Everything was from our childhood. It was great.
Yeah, that's like when Blessing was on. He was like mentioning a couple guys from like that. I was like, oh, I remember watching that guy when I was like 6, and he's not that much older than me. But
I still think we're kind of young for the fantasy baseball crowd. I think we're on the younger side still, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, take that, you old farts.
Yeah.
So we haven't introduced ourselves, but you got your host, Tim Kanak, at Fantasy Aceball. John is obviously here at John PGH, and the man, the myth, the legend, Doc Eisenhauer, drafting and podcasting simultaneously. So one of those things is going to be it's going to go horribly wrong. Whether it's the draft or the podcast is yet to be determined. But one is going to be a train wreck, and one will survive.
Doc won't know either. We won't know which until after it's done.
I don't even know what's going on, man.
Kyle Stowers, $28. That's what's going on. All right.
Yeah, I'm doing like multiple drafts right now. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I've been off way more than I can chew in this fantasy world. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
And he's like, I can do the podcast Thursday night. I'll be drafting. But I was like, wait, what?
Normal drafts are not a big deal. I'm a freaking stud, dude. Like, I know ball. But auctions,
you should have just done it from the Pentagon.
If anyone's ever been on CBS,
auctions.
Respect to Scott White and the boys. It's just not a good site for drafting.
You're just not deep enough in yet, Doc. Because once you get further into the government snake, you'll be able to draft in one of those like NASA rooms with a giant screen and like 500 computers. Then you can make it.
Looking at all you naked.
Yes,
that's what all the government employees do. Look at their buddies naked.
Even when we're actually fully clothed, you just have a camera that removes it all. Yes.
Thanks, Snowden.
Yes, well, that's a little bit too far, man. That's kind of weird.
Thanks, Snowden. Yeah. You're reminding me of this thing I saw that apparently I can't remember if you have to do shrooms, but apparently if you put set up lasers against a wall, and I think you do a certain shroom, you can actually see what's on the other side of the wall. There's some study done or something. I was just reading about this the other day.
That sounds that's not true at all.
I don't know. Look it up, man. Lasers, shrooms, and seeing through walls. It's like Cyclops, right? Or something.
Sounds like a hallucination to me.
Probably.
Let's talk about some catchers.
Yeah, the catcher podcast is not a hallucination. So tier 1, Doc. We're going to be keeping 1, drafting 1, cutting 2. We got Cal Raleigh, William Contreras, Drake Baldwin, and Samuel Basallo. And John and I just did the redraft pod the other day. So you can see Samuel Basallo, up in those dynasty rankings.
Yep.
Is some me? You want me?
Yeah.
You want me to tell you what's going on?
This is Doc Dynasty Hour. You're first.
All right. I'm keeping Cal, man. What he's doing, he's 29. He's not ancient. We're keeping Cal. You got to do it. Draft Drake Baldwin. He's almost underrated. He's perfectly rated, actually. I feel like it depends on like where you're drafting, but he could be underrated, he could be overrated. So I think that makes him perfectly rated. And the other two are fine. A bright young prospect in Basayo. It's crazy to think where we're at though, huh? With Drake Baldwin. I think it's also team dependent. Like I just don't know with the Orioles, like what they plan on doing with Basayo. I think his ceiling's higher than Baldwin's, but Baldwin's already shown what he can be in his rookie year. The metrics love him too. It's crazy. I never would have thought that. I would have thought a year ago Basayo way better than this Drake Baldwin guy. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm going to game it a little bit because obviously these are my rankings and I've got Cal Raleigh number 1. But because you can only draft one guy, if you're like playing in multiple leagues and you're like, okay, which one do I want for this year? I'm going to pick Cal Raleigh. I would draft him just for that reason. So if I'm drafting first, I'm going to draft Cal Raleigh. And then I'm like, okay, well then who am I going to keep? And it's a tough one really, because like I'm going to lean back down to Baldwin or Basayo. And when John and I were podcasting the other day on the redraft pod, I was like, William Contreras and Drake Baldwin are almost like the same guy. It's just like a couple of years. It's like there's just like a Drake Baldwin is William Contreras like 3 years in the past. We'll see if he gets traded too. But it's basically like talking about seeing through walls. Drake Baldwin is seeing through time right now to see his future, which is William Contreras. So Samuel Basayo is take those mushrooms. So Samuel Basayo is going to be the keep, and Cal Raleigh is going to be the draft, cutting Contreras and Baldwin because they're like the same guy in different dimensions.
I cannot tell you if I had Cal Raleigh in a dynasty league, I wouldn't, because I would have traded him already. You obviously need to trade that guy right now. It's insane to hold on to a 29-year-old catcher after that year. It's buy low, sell high. That's the name of the game, and there will never be a higher point. So abandon ship on Raleigh. Not for anything, of course.
But it's not trade. It's cut. It means you don't get to trade him, right? Am I crazy?
No, you're right. I don't disagree with what you said, but general point, like, get rid of Raleigh.
Especially because of the depth of the catcher position. Look where we're at, right?
And the turnover is just like, will Raleigh even be a catcher in 4 years? I mean, I guess Salvador Perez has like held there, but doesn't it seem logical that either he goes the full-time DH or he loses the hitting, like to some extent, right?
Do you know how many passed balls Cal Raleigh had last year?
No,
if you're watching, you can see zero pass balls. If you're watching on X or YouTube, you knew
he's very good. But my point is, does that catching the toll on his body cost him the hitting ability?
Maybe in the future, but not yet. So, I mean, I don't know. Dynasty leagues, I'm looking 3 to 5 year. Like, I'm not thinking about like 7 years down the road.
True.
But I agree with your point. He's not going to repeat a 60 home run season. So if you can sell Cal Raleigh to someone who thinks he can do that again, like if you have a Mariners fan in your league, then just trade him to that guy.
It's the lowest common denominator, man. Finally, there's somebody in that league that'll give you a good price. So go for it.
Yep. Makes sense. Got any other comments on these guys, John?
I do.
No, you're like, no, tier 2. Let's do it. Tier 2 is a bigger tier. Doc, get ready. This one's a challenge. Oh, where's Doc? You just banished him.
I've been here the whole time. I never even left the room. I think
your picture went off the thing. John,
I know, it was grayed out.
I did it. That was me. We're rolling now. Big tier here.
All right, big tier here for a tier 2. We're gonna keep 2, draft 2, cut 4. This tier starts with number 5, Shea Langeliers, 6, Ben Rice, 7, Ivan Herrera, 8, Carter Jensen, 9, Hunter Goodman, 10, Will Smith, 11, Yanier Diaz, and 12, Augustin Ramirez.
Let me cut Will Smith right off the bat. I'll do you guys a favor. He's gone.
Yeah, right? He's gone. He gone.
Go ahead, Doc.
Okay. So this is great. So I have such motivation to be not taking time here because I have an auction that I'm doing right now live. Augustin Ramirez, keep. Carter Jensen, keep. Will Smith, draft. He's underrated. Ivan Herrera. Yeah. Ivan Herrera, I'm not even sure if he'll qualify as a catcher. It seems like they're getting him reps there after all. We'll see. I mean, Ben Rice is great. But this is just weird, though. Ben Rice is not a catcher. He's for sure not a catcher. Yeah. So that's why I would cut him there, but he's really good. Langeliers, I still can't get fully behind him. It's just such a deep group now, the catcher group. So, No, I love my guys. Augustin Ramirez, if he can stick around, that's a question with Joe Mack around the corner. But 2020 upside out of your catcher, gosh, don't see that too often. I'll also say Yainer Diaz is kind of like underrated in BA only leagues, only like 300 maybe, but most of my leagues
said that
are
yesterday.
BA only. And
I said
shout
that-
out to what's that?
I said the same thing yesterday on the redraft pod.
Okay.
Same
Yes,
page.
true.
We're
Yes,
seeing through walls, baby.
I did cost considered rankings today for catcher, and Yiner's near the top. We're a big Yainer Diaz podcast.
In OBP leagues, do not take Yainer
disaster.
Diaz.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draft Shea, and I'm going to draft Ben Rice, because guess what? Ben Rice is going to be a catcher for this year.
Yes.
But not for next year. So might as well take advantage now in that catcher thing. Then I'm going to be keeping Carter Jensen, whom I love. Doc and I both love Carter Jensen. Doc loves him more than me, actually. But I'm going to be keeping Carter Jensen. And I'm also going to be keeping Ivan Herrera, because I believe...
Because you're a Cardinals simp. We all
No,
know it. You just can't get away from it.
No, it's because Ivan Herrera, I believe, and Chaim Bloom believes, is a catcher. And Chaim Bloom actually knows what he's doing, unlike John Mozeliak. So I'm going to buy this, that
I agree.
Yadier Molina, who was just hired to work in the front office with Chaim Bloom, is going to be able to develop Ivan Herrera into a full-time catcher. And Herrera had 19 home runs last year in 107 games. So I always joke about extrapolations, but he has a career 203 games played right now, so you can kind of extrapolate. And 672 at-bats, he's got 24 home runs with 97 runs and 98 RBI. So if we downtick that a little bit, you're probably still looking at like 80 runs, 80 RBI, 20 home runs, and a 286 career average for Ivan Herrera. So if you can get a 280 hitter as a catcher to 290, which 284 is his worst season within his like two really like sample sizes, I guess. So if you can get like a 280 to 290 hitting catcher who can hit 20 bombs, also he steals some bags, 8 steals last year, 5 the year before. If he can throw in some steals and then go like 80 runs, 80 RBI because he's the best hitter on the Cardinals, that's a really good thing, because he's going to catch, he's going to DH, he's going to catch enough to make it the catcher stick, I think.
Right.
Then he's going to mostly DH, which is actually better for him long term as a hitter. He's only 26. So
that's the absolute best thing for a dynasty league. Just catch a little bit, keep the eligibility, but play DH. Yeah. So we all hate Hunter Goodman. No love for Hunter Goodman.
Yeah, and he's not doing.
No, I actually respect the kid for doing what he did, you know. And I think he was just playing way ahead of his game last year. I think it's going to come back down to earth a little bit.
Definitely.
Is he related to Saul Goodman?
No. Is that the Breaking Bad guy?
Saul Goodman. Saul Goodman. All right. You got anything on this tier, John? You're like
no, we're good. We covered it. That was a good job.
Yeah. Okay. Tier 3, fourth people. Nice and easy. Keep 1, draft 1, cut 2. Gabriel Moreno, Josue Briseño, Adley Rutschman, shirtless or non-shirtless options. It's like Ohtani. It's like Ohtani in Yahoo leagues. You have to draft either the shirtless or the non-shirtless option. And then we got Logan O'Hoppe, his best shirtless friend. So again, shirtless or non-shirtless, Logan O'Hoppe.
I must not have done the Tigers prospect preview, because I do not know who this Briseño guy is.
Whoa, bro, what is wrong with you? Top 25 prospect, right? I think I got him top 30 actually, but still.
Sorry.
I think that's kind of crazy talk. I don't know if he's that high for me, but it's tough, man. I think I'm going to keep him. Just because I think Marino and O'Hoppe, given the current state of catcher, are like replacement tier for the most part. And I'm actually in on Rutschman. Like I think that the value is ridiculously good, and I think that need to go ahead and bump those numbers way up. Those are rookie numbers, what he's going for in terms of auction values, in terms of rounds where he's being drafted. So we got Dylan Cruz on the board here, and he went way too high, so now they can go bid for him. Briseño, though, man, he's like a big monster. I've seen him. What's it, 6'4"? Is he actually going to stick at catcher? I've heard that his defense has been improving. Tim, do you know anything about that?
I doubt he does, only because Tyrone.
Like 2 years ago, I thought that he was like, it was like confirmed he was going to go to first base. Then he came back to catcher.
Yeah. So last year he played 8 games DH. That's at AA, 14 in high A. So 22 games DH. He played 32 games at first base, and he played 46 at catcher. So primary catcher. But the thing is that the Tigers they traded for Tyron Lorenzo. I don't know how you say his first name. Probably Tyron Lorenzo from the Dodgers, who's like a 70 grade defender at catcher. So Lorenzo is probably, as long as he can hit enough to be a major league player, Lorenzo is going to take that catcher spot. So I think that's where catcher is going to come down. That's where it's going to like come down to what Briseño actually plays, is if Lorenzo actually makes it or not. Because if Lorenzo doesn't make it, then Briseño may be like the main catcher. But if Lorenzo does make it, then Briseño could just be like an Augustin Ramirez territory, more or less.
Well, he's not going to steal 20 bases, but I get you.
No, but I mean, like, I'm just talking about like positionally, if that makes sense. Yeah, Briseño, much different player. He's a hit and power guy. So Briseño, big fan. 149 extra base hit plus, 20 home runs in 437 plate appearances last year in the minors, 880 OPS. The kid can hit. Got a 77% contact, 270 batting average, and he had a higher contact the year before that when he was down in A-ball. So he actually kind of like sacrificed a little bit of hit for power over the last season, because before that he was like a big guy who had a ridiculous hit tool and was like not getting into any power. Then he went to Arizona Fall League and completely changed his tune in Fall League. So I'm going to try to pull up his contact from the year before.
Yeah, 20 homers with a
84% contact rate at A-ball before.
Yeah, and less than 5-point gap between the K rate and the walk rate with that much power. That's an impressive year in 100 games last year for Briseño.
Yes, Mr. Josue. So funny story, maybe not a funny story, but my father-in-law, who owned my construction company before I bought it from him, my first company, we had a guy whose name was Josue. But my father-in-law is like a white guy from Kentucky who grew up on a farm, and he always called him Josue. So instead of Josue, he just called him Josue. He didn't even care.
Right. It's the American
everyone else in the whole company called him Josue, and he just kept calling him Josue. And I'm like, okay, he just does not care, which is cool. But anyway, I'm doing the same thing. I'm keeping Briseño, but draft-wise, I talked a lot of crap about Moreno in the pod yesterday. Yeah. But he's just so much safer than these other guys that I'm still going to pick him. Ohapi has the highest ceiling, I think, between Moreno, Rutschman, and Ohapi for next year. But I'm going to pick the safe guy and go with Moreno because his hit tool is really good. For him, it's just health. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be a good player. Well, not great, but good. And sometimes a catcher, that's all you want. You just want a guy who's not going to ding your other stats.
What happened with Adley? I mean, why was he he was the number one prospect in baseball. So was that all just bad, or was that a bad rank? What's going on?
Injuries, and like you mentioned, poor rehab. Look what we talked about in the last podcast. Look what he's doing on the ice, man. What kind of rehab is that?
Was he supposed to hit though? I mean,
he's always had kind of just like mid bat speeds. So when you're doing well, that's overlooked. When you're not doing well, it makes you look even less sexy. I personally think that's a big part of it. And the Orioles as a whole have underperformed, right? So
he was in the home run derby. Remember, he was in the home run derby. Doesn't that look kind of ridiculous looking back?
I think his career is not over. I think the Orioles are going to tick back up. I think he's going to be on a redemption arc this year.
I mean, look, he's a good player. He's a leader. He's a good catcher. But as far as like a fantasy value, unless you're in a points league, it's just, I don't think I think that the name is more than the stats.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yep.
All right.
Disagree. I think that'll change. I think you're wrong.
Keep Briseño. Who did Doc say to draft?
He's drafting Rutschman. I'm drafting Moreno.
So Hoppy and Goodman are the hate-filled guys so far.
I like Ohapi too. So like I said, like he has the highest ceiling. He could have a 30 homer season. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. But we saw the floor last year, which was very rough. Tier 4, 7 names here.
Yes, tier 4. We're going to keep one. Doc, draft 2, and cut 3. You say 7 names or 6 names?
I said
I just
7.
did 6 things. So, okay, so we're gonna cut 4. I messed that up. We're just gonna cut another one. So we got Austin Wells, Salvador Perez, Kyle Teal, Dalton Rushing, Tyler Stevenson, Dylan Dingler, and JT Realmuto. A bunch of old guys, a couple of young guys who haven't hit yet. This is gonna be an interesting tier. What do you have here, Doc?
Well, first I'm up on another draft, and I need to ask you a really random comp. Tim only. Sorry,
Yes.
John, you're not allowed. Ethan Salas, who is actually relevant to this podcast, and then Sean Gamble, who's completely not relevant. This is a really weird comp. Now, I just think that Salas has fallen so far in people's minds that he's a good value, and Sean Gamble's fresh on people's minds because he's an FYPD guy. This is a startup for Dynasty. There's mixed MLB guys in here. Who are you taking?
That's a good one. I'm probably taking Gamble, though I do like the value in Salas right now. He
Correct.
could be like he could just he could completely skyrocket this year. So he
Yeah.
was looking good last year before he got hurt too. I mean, it was only like 30 games or something he played last year, but he was looking good before he got hurt.
I think I'll gamble it by going Gamble. And then now, because you answered that, I will answer your question. And we'll continue the podcast for the rest of the listeners. Tim is your hero, folks. Keep 1, draft 2, cut 3. I'll tell you right now off the top, we're going to be drafting Sal Perez because he just hit 30 home runs. Like that is one of his top 2 best seasons for power, I believe. I think it's actually the second time only he's hit over 30 home runs, which is kind of unusual. And so he's not washed up in that regard. Dingler's so underrated. I think I'm gonna go. It's tough between Wells and Dingler for drafting. But yeah, I'll definitely draft Perez and I'll draft Dingler just to be rogue because I think he's underrated. I think he's a pretty good little hitter.
Briseño is not showing up this year.
What are you talking about?
Briseño, he's not
on this. He's not in this block.
I know, but could he interrupt?
I see what
Dingler?
you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like Dingler's kind of like, in my opinion, made that less of a rush. I think he's surprised a lot of people, including in the Tigers organization. So we'll see. And then for keeping, though, this is where it's interesting. So Teal's intriguing. Dalton Rushing was such a darling 5 seconds ago. Is he a catcher? Is he an outfielder? Could Austin Wells used to be like an OBP guy, and now he's just like free swinging. Obviously, just decided to switch his approach up. I'm going to go ahead and say Dalton Rushing just because I feel like it.
This is a tough one. There's nobody you want to keep here. This is a brutal one.
Dalton Rushing is the best guy, but he's just not going to play enough in my mind. So, like, for me, what I'm going to do, and by the way, I can't be the only one. Anytime I hear the name Dylan Dingler, doesn't it make you think of Boogie Nights?
Yes.
Every single time. Boogie Nights.
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Dirk Diggler. Mark Wahlberg. No. Doesn't ring a bell.
In hindsight, it's degenerate, and you don't need to watch it. But
yeah, good drunk college movie.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
If you're not
a good movie to watch if you're a college guy, and you're wasted and you're not with any ladies that fine night, then go ahead and just throw on Boogie Nights. It's a fun time. So
I was never with any ladies in college. That's for sure.
Well, you should have watched Boogie Nights then. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
We got here Austin Wells is going to be a draft for me. Just because he's in the Yankee Stadium, he's going to hit a bunch of bombs. It's a solid lineup. The Yankees don't have another catcher unless you count Ben Rice as a catcher, but he's going to play first mostly. So it's like basically a rotation of Wells, Ben Rice, and Goldschmidt. I'm cool with that. And I'm definitely going to draft Salvador Perez too. So I'm down on the Salvi train for drafting. Would never keep Salvador Perez at 36 years old. That's for sure. Keeping here, this is the tough one between Kyle Teal and Dalton Rushing. I think Dalton Rushing is a better hitter and a better player than Kyle Teal ultimately. But I also think that he's not going to get enough plate appearances. And I think Kyle Teal is going to get all of the plate appearances because the White Sox have no reason to not play him. So I am going to be keeping Kyle Teal between the two.
But man, if rushing, although it's like
if he's traded,
but why would they trade him? What do they need? They don't need anything. Like what?
They also don't have a backup catcher anymore because Austin Barnes is gone. He's on the Mets.
Yeah, so it's tough. It can be amazing to be on the Dodgers. You get World Series rings, but it can also be, if you're Dalton Rushing, like it might kill his career.
Look, if you, it's only fun to be a Dodger if you're Japanese or if you're like someone who they signed. You don't want to be someone who is like coming up in their organization because you're gonna get buried or you're gonna get traded.
Or you're Will Smith and you just conquer them all. But yeah, it's a tough place to come up in. You're right.
Yeah.
So add Stevenson and Realmuto to the hate list. I'm populating this hate list as I do best. Guys we haven't mentioned. Easy.
I kind of like Stevenson, actually. I don't like Realmuto for this year, but I kind of do like Stevenson a little bit. Just because when he's healthy, he's pretty mid. So he's like a really solid catcher too if you're in a 2-catcher league. Or if you're in if you just want like a cheap backup catcher, if you're in like a 15-teamer or a 20-teamer or something like that, and you need a backup catcher, Stevenson's not bad because he's cheap and you know what you're going to get out of him. So he's pretty steady.
Doesn't he? I'm going to check real quick. Stevenson, last year he was mostly the 7th hitter, but he hit cleanup 13 times, hit 5th 10 times. So he sneaks up there into a power position. So like day to day, he's not a bad catcher at all. But
I don't know if you remember, they almost made him a first baseman. I think that was like 2 years ago. They really liked his bat, and they were like going to make him a first baseman.
I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. They were pretty desperate. I don't think that's happening anymore. But yeah,
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That was tier 4. We got a couple more. Tier 5.
Before we go on, it's important. Brock Wilkins' mom just liked my tweet. She's liked my tweets before.
Put it on the list.
Brockets.
The more your parents and you like my content, the more you'll go up my rankings. I'm very easily bought. No money required, just ego boosts.
Yes.
Yes. Callan Moss for the win. Brockets, baby. So tier 5, we got a keep 2, draft 2, cut 6. Big tier. Ralphie Velasquez, Alejandro Kirk, Francisco Alvarez, Jefferson Caro, Rainiel Rodriguez, Sean Murphy, Moises Ballesteros, the bowling ball, Bo Naylor, Joe Mack, Return of the Mac, and Harry Ford. What are you doing here, Doc?
I can't believe
young guys.
Alejandro Kirk is 27. He's young. Tim hates him. I hate him. We all hate him. Let's get that quick take, Doc. Are you Alejandro Kirk guy, or are you with us?
I don't think so. Everyone likes him, right?
Yeah,
but not us. What was this like? Why is this the hate podcast for Kirk? I feel like I have to burp because I just chugged a whole bunch of soda. I don't drink. Just muted.
He muted. Nice job.
It was pretty. Yeah. It wasn't a cool burp.
Dexterity.
I was gonna say you should have let it fly so that we could rate your burp.
Yeah, no, it's not like a cool bro one. It was more of like oh dude, yeah, you drank too much soda at once. It's just like your health's not good anymore. Rainiel Rodriguez is a keep for sure. This guy is probably I'm doing my prospect ranks right now. I think he's a top 20 guy. He's at least there's no way you can be out of anyone's top 30 at this point. I was ripping on Ross Jensen for him being too eager with that last year. I'll have to go ahead and apologize. Hey, he's got more to prove still. He hasn't gone beyond low A as far as I recall. But yeah, he's
137 F power. Rainiel Rodriguez.
I heard he's good behind the plate too, and that's critical.
Yeah, he's solid. I've seen him a bunch of times. Remember, I've actually watched him live 10 or 15 times. He's awesome. I love him. Good, really good dude. The dude is a gamer too. Great hitter. Great plate skills. He's a freaking beast, man. I'm telling you, I think I saw him 2 different times in rain delays. In both times, he was the first guy back out on the field. He just wanted to get in the game. And he does this thing too. I'm really going to ask him when I see him this spring. But he draws something in the dirt. And I don't know if he's drawing a cross at the plate, but every time before he hits, he puts his bat in the dirt behind home and draws something. And I'm going to ask if it's a cross. I don't know what it is. It might be. But he draws something in the dirt. And I saw the first time I saw him do it, I was videoing it. And I was like, look at this. Like this dude is like calling a shot, like drawing in the dirt, steps up to the plate, and then he just destroyed the ball. And in Jupiter, it's a really bad hitter's park. Like it's terrible for hitters. And this dude had 20 home runs in the minors last year in 84 games, even though Jupiter's atrocious for hitters. And he had all 20, like, I mean, I guess not all 20 were in Jupiter, but all 20 of his home runs were in the Florida State League or the Florida Complex League. So all 20 were at home or were at sea level, because he like did not leave the state. So that's another thing to consider too, is like once he starts playing in like other places where there's elevation, we might see even more power, because he's doing that at sea level, in ballparks where like the wind blows in all the time from the ocean. So pretty ridiculous stuff for him. I'm a huge Raniel Rodriguez guy. And yeah, man, like I think I ranked him 29 or 30 or something like that. Like I had him like right next to Briseño, but I think he's going to be a top 10 prospect, maybe even by the end of the year.
Okay. Yeah. So he's a guy we're keeping. Ballesteros is something. Ralphie Velasquez is super underrated.
He's something. Kirk and Ballesteros should be in the next Willy Wonka film.
The question is Ballesteros DH at like 22 years old is the question. And that's like a real possibility, in which case it depends on your format, right? If you have 2 utility spots, okay. Even then it's like, yeah, it's not ideal, right? It's not what you dream up, little bowling ball guy. But if he gets catching eligibility, it's nice. Joe Mack's interesting. I don't know, man. I think Ballesteros and Raniel, and I'll draft Kirk, even though we don't like him. And gosh, you know what? I'm gonna draft Ballesteros and I'll keep Ralphie. How's that sound? Because Ralphie's like went from like super hype to like nobody cared about him to like, all right.
No Francisco Alvarez for you either, Doc.
See,
not draft.
There's just so many
Francisco.
options here, right? There's just so many options.
I thought I would say nobody asks me, but
you're like it's too brute.
Draft
like
Kirk.
Sounded like.
Draft Kirk, draft Alvarez. I'll keep Raniel, and I'll keep. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I even keep Alvarez. I don't know. I'm a big Alvarez guy. Ballesteros. You're right. It is weird when you don't think these guys are going to be catchers. So how do you actually evaluate that? But I guess for the purposes of the exercise, we assume they're all catchers forever. But I like Francisco Alvarez. Hope I'm proven right.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping Raniel and Ralphie. I love Ralphie. The reason he's ranked higher than Raniel, and this is because this is a 3-year. The rankings that I threw up here for these tiers are my 3-year dynasty. I also have a 5-year dynasty ranking, so I do both. So Raniel is much higher in the 5-year, just because he's going to get more MLB playing time within a 5-year period than in a 3-year period. Whereas Ralphie is much closer to the majors, having played AA last year. So yeah, those are the 2 guys that I'm going to be keeping. John threw up Ralphie. Ralphie's a top 40 prospect for me. The second half that this guy had last year. The second half that this guy had was absolutely ridiculous. And I think that I can't remember if I talked to about him with one of you guys or if it was like one of the prospect guys that I've had on, but he looks exactly like V-Mart. If you remember Victor Martinez, they have like the same freaking stance, the same like style of hitting. Like he's like a carbon copy of old school V-Mart. But second half last year, yes, second half last year, put that little slider to like 710 or whatever.
It's a screenshot. I can't move it. It's a screenshot.
Oh, okay. I did it on my own. So I put it from 713 until the end of the year, which is about second half. He hit 321, 401, 577 with 10 bombs, 150 extra base hit plus during that period with a 79% contact rate and only a 14% K rate. So not striking out, great contact, power. That's everything you want, man. This guy, the thing is, I don't know if he sticks a catcher. He might move to first. So it'll be interesting to see what happens positionally for him. But I think he's a dude for sure.
And you like Harry Ford as well from this tier before we move on.
Yes.
Tim's a fan. So
yeah, exactly. So like who I'm drafting, I'm probably drafting out of these guys. If it's a points league, I'll go Kirk. But if it's in a roto league, I don't even want him. I don't want him at all. I'll draft Alvarez, even though I talk crap about him. if it's a roto league.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll still draft him in that. But then, like, if I'm in a roto, I might actually take the risk at this point in the time and just draft Joe Mack or Harry Ford. Like, there's a really good shot Harry Ford beats Keibert Ruiz is just like so middling. He's like the most vanilla, boring catcher, like player. Like Harry Ford could easily win that job from him. And Harry Ford, like I said in the redraft league, could go 2020. Like he had 35 steals in 2024, and he had like 20 steals every season before that. So this is actually a catcher with speed who's athletic. He's been around for a long time, so there's a lot of prospect fatigue with him, which is actually good for value because people are just so kind of sick of him and then got traded. So like there's actually really, really good value on Harry Ford right now. And it's a really solid power speed combo, and he has amazing plate skills too.
An American name, Ford.
Even though he plays for Team Britain every time in the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, that's terrible. That's horrible. Remember the Ruiz trade? I remember this one. You guys remember Keibert Ruiz? What trade was that? You guys remember? I can remind you.
Yeah, what trade was that for? When the Dodgers got Scherzer for like half the season?
It was Scherzer and Turner, Trey Turner.
Yes.
For
Ruiz,
Josiah Gray and Keibert Ruiz. Disaster.
Yeah, Josiah Gray that's a stinker. That's a bomb.
I mean, Turner and Scherzer didn't stick with the Dodgers for long, but that looked good at the time, to me at least. I wasn't paying attention, but
Turner was there for a year and a half, wasn't he? He was a baller. I think he had his best seasons.
But I think it made a little bit of sense for the Nationals at the time, like two top prospects, but man, those have not worked out at all.
Yeah, that didn't pick the right prospects.
Yeah. Tier 6, the Massacre.
All right, we got the Massacre. There are a ton of dudes here. We got Carlos Narvaez, Carson Kelly, Patrick Bailey, Edgar Caro, so 2 Caros, Henry Davis, John's boy, Keibert Ruiz, Cooper Ingle, Doc's favorite player, Ryan Jeffers, Jimmy Crooks, Danny Jansen, Blake Mitchell, Ethan Salas, the aforementioned Ethan Salas, Doc, Nick Samillo, Pedro Pajes, Eduardo Tait, Alfredo Duno, Miguel Amaya, Jonah Heim. Keep one, draft one.
I've got this Tate guy. You said Tait. I'm gonna call him Taint. Eddie Taint. He is in the MLB DW Dynasty League. I took him in like the 4th round or something because he was up on the fScores. So was that good? Am I in good shape?
Yeah.
Well, he's better now than you call him Eddie
105 hit 105 hit tool 120 power. So hit power combo is set.
Rock on.
All right, Doc. Who you doing here?
Who are the keep? Let's make options here for the people. There's a ton of names here. Who's in the arena for keep? Let's try to do that. So Tait clearly in the discussion. Who else?
I mean, he's not in my discussion. I mean, he's not in my discussion. Duno's in my discussion. Salas is in my discussion. Blake Mitchell would have been if he hadn't been so disappointing last year.
Jimmy Crooks.
Henry Davis, keep an eye on him. I just feel like Henry Davis went from like an all hit, no defense catcher to now he's just really good at defense and doesn't know how to hit. If he can just like figure out a little bit of each, it's interesting. Cuero's so boring but effective. So Crooks is like a value, I think, in like deep league, redraft leagues. Like really playing a lot more than people realize. Pedro Pajes is not your handcuff. Like, he's not your I got bidding
your Huckleberry.
So he doesn't like it. The Doc said he doesn't like Eddie Taint. That makes me.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's fine, but these other names are more interesting to me. Okay, I'll keep between Salas and Duno. Salas, Duno. It's I'm gonna go with Salas. I just think he's got that upside. I think Duno is understandable if you want to go with him, especially if he can stick in Cincinnati in that ballpark. I just know that Salas is like a surefire catcher, for sure, which is like not that easy to predict. And obviously they've tried rushing him up in the past. I think that there's greener pastures on the horizon here. Andrew Painter's up in our NL only auction here. How he's at $6 now already. Damn. I'm putting him now at 8. I'm going to 10. I'm tapping it.
You're really betting on that fastball coming back, huh?
I'm at 9. No one's betting? Yeah, don't bet. Don't bet. You don't bet on me. I get him at 9.
You better draft Robbie Snelling. Oh, we heard that one, Doc.
Robbie Snelling went at $7. and we don't even know if he's starting the year with the team.
I
So
was fired.
When did this Ethan Salas dude, like, I swear I've been hearing about that guy for 3 years, and then you're trying to tell me he's only 19.
That's the thing. Though,
He
but
was
that's
17 years old. He
was literally 16.
AA as
he
a
was 16 when they started talking about
this feels illegal. We shouldn't be talking about 16-year-olds. This is like it's Jason Dominguez all over again, but even worse. I legitimately thought, because I did the Padres prospect preview with you, Tim. I thought that Salas had just like timed out. Like, I remembered that guy, and then he's on the list. Before the podcast, I looked at the list and I was like, oh, that guy. Okay, I guess he must have kind of flamed out, but he's 23 or something, and then he's just still a teenager. So I mean, ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time. So.
But still,
but that's what happens with these guys. Like you're talking about, like they start off at 6. Like Jason Dominguez is still 22 years old. Like he's just turned 23, I think, a week or two ago. It's like I'm in on these guys. Like they're underrated because they're acted like they've washed out at 29 or 30 years old. You know what? Joe Adele is maybe figuring it out right now. Kyle Stowers just figured it out at 27. So
he didn't figure it out though. The Stowers, you were so crazy on Stowers, man.
No, your brain's not working,
good, dude. You have to go put some WD-40 in that brain of yours, Tin Man. I don't know.
We need a bet. I'm off Stowers.
Everything under the hood is so good on Stowers. Stowers is good, man. He just never got run. Even when he was with the Orioles, he looked good. He just never got good.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, they never gave him a chance.
Because he sucks.
He takes walks. That's the difference, right? He takes walks, so that's the thing that makes it all come together. He hits the ball really hard. It's a weird profile. If he just was like kind of mid or less than average with taking walks, his whole profile I think would kind of crumble. But he's elite at taking walks.
All right, who are you drafting here? Who are you drafting, Doc?
This is John's ball. He wants to talk smack against my boy Stout.
Keeping Ethan Salas. Who are you drafting?
Wow, listen to that.
There's nobody here.
We're going with.
I beg to differ.
Edgar Caro.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going Caro. Why?
Yeah, boring, but
Jimmy Crooks. What's Tim going to say? Crooks or Jansen? Not Jansen. They're going to say Crooks.
No, I'm drafting Danny Jansen, man.
Danny Jansen?
He's probably going to start for the Rangers, right? Like, who else they got there? So, Rangers have a pretty solid team. So, Jansen is usually pretty good when he is healthy. His biggest issue is generally health. Let's see, he has not played in 100 games since 2019. It's pretty insane. But he's pretty good when he's healthy. He has a decent power at least. So last year, 98 games, 14 bombs. Rangers are a pretty solid team. So
he had an insane home run rate 1 year. Do you guys remember that? Maybe it might have been.
Yeah.
Might have even been pre-COVID at this point, but there was 1 year he would just get in there and hit. He would hit bombs. For
2022, he had 15 homers and 215 plate appearances, or 215 at bats.
He was a DFS legend, but he could not stay in the lineup with. It was him and Kirk, right? And he would get in there, and then he went to the Rays, and you thought like the Rays were like, "Hey, we'll pick this guy up. He's way too cheap." And then he had a really rough 655 OPS in 2024. Better last year, 721, but.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you're going Carson Kelly, or you're going Danny Jansen. You could, if you really believe in Patrick Bailey rebounding. I don't, but
Bailey will certainly play the most out of this.
Yeah, he should. But yeah, I mean, Carson Kelly is pretty solid, but Amaya is going to be back this year, and they've got Ballesteros, so who knows? Playing time will probably be down. He had a pretty good year last year, though.
Good call on Jansen. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Henry Davis. You cut him, but he's not the first one you cut out of this. Go Bucks.
No, for sure. No, the first one I'm cutting is like, I kind of like Miguel Amaya too if he's gonna play. But first one I'm cutting is probably Heim. Yeah, Pages too. The thing is that I like Crooks a lot better than Pages, but the Cardinals really like Pages. They like him as like a player. They like him as like a dude in the locker room. So that's one of the problems is he's like a team captain type guy. As like the backup catcher. So you almost just like keep those guys. So I don't know. Like I like Crooks too. Crooks is a good dude. I talked to him a little bit when he was here this last spring. He's a good dude. But anyway, who I'm going to draft or I'm going to keep is going to be between Tait and Alfredo Duno. And a lot of people are really big on Duno because he's huge. He's like 6'5", just looks like a freaking tank. But I'll tell you, I'm going to go Tait. Tait is a year younger. He has a much better hit tool. And while the plate skills are off, he doesn't walk as much, and he has a little bit more swing and miss. I like Tait, and I think that Tait is going to be shortchanged statistically a little bit, and he's not going to get as much love as he should because he got promoted to high A as an 18-year-old, while Duno was playing an A ball all year as a 19-year-old. So he didn't get the promotion. Tait got the promotion and then got traded. And this is the interesting thing. When he got the promotion to high A, it was only 7 games, but he looked pretty good for the Phillies in high A. And then he gets traded to the Twins at the deadline in the Joan Duran trade. And after that happened, he kind of tailed off a little bit. But you know what? He had to move. And he's a kid still, an 18-year-old having to move in the middle of the season, learn all new pitchers. Because remember, he's a catcher.
Right.
So it's not like it's an outfielder or a first baseman getting traded. And it's like, okay, I got to learn a new outfield. Right? It's like, okay, it's like everything's kind of the same for them. But for the catcher, it's like you're responsible for the pitching staff. So you have to learn all your new pitchers now. And that's a lot of like homework to do in the middle of the season for a catcher.
Definitely.
So I think that people are just not going to think about that. And they're going to be like, oh, when he went to Minnesota, his strikeout rate went up to 27%. Well, guess what? It was like under 20 at every level before that. And then the dude had to learn a new pitching staff in the middle of the season. So I will give him a bit of a break. I think that Tait with the hit power combo is going to be more effective for regular fantasy leagues than Duno. While Duno is going to walk a lot more, it might be better in points leagues. Tait is going to be the better player in most leagues.
That works for me.
Yep. You got anything on this tier? Everyone else is murdered. They're all in the grave.
Zip, are there a lot of pop-ups at catcher, like prospect-wise? Like
the last couple of years, yes. So the last couple of years has been like the best catcher prospect crop that we've had, like maybe forever, maybe since I've been playing fantasy baseball, which has been like, I don't know, since I was in like 6th grade or something. So I was playing fantasy baseball when A-Rod and Pujols were like the best guys you're drafting. So probably since then, those are like right now is the best prospect catchers. Wouldn't you say, Doc?
Yes, I would say.
All right.
It really is. It's like the deepest.
Doc has nothing to say because he's drafting. It's like the first time ever. Still nothing. Look at him.
What? You didn't hear me? I said it's like the most. It's like the most deepest it's ever been.
He agreed.
I said that earlier too, so everyone knows how I feel.
He concurs. He concurs. No soda burp. Doc's seeing through walls right now, chugging sodas and pounding.
That's the problem. I haven't refilled the whiskey, bro.
If I leave right now, I can go watch Next Level Chef before I'm falling asleep with my wife. So let's wrap.
All right, that's the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to MLB Data Warehouse. We had a shorty today because it's catchers. There's not a ton of dudes. So yeah, shorter podcast. Doc's drafting. Doc talking less. Interesting things. So make sure you buy the prospect warehouse or the prospect package, $29.99, so you can fund me going to all my spring training games, because like I mentioned in the last podcast, it's incredibly expensive, like $60 a ticket for spring training games. And I can't just go by myself. My wife makes me take kids. I have to go to a game with my whole family, John. That's my wife, and I have to pay for 3 kids. 2 kids are still free. So that's 5 tickets at $60. That's $300. And I'm definitely going to be drinking with all those kids. So like, I'm going to spend like $400 or $500 on one game. So I need prospect package money.
I just wouldn't go. That's an absurd. I can't. I'm at $60. How do they get off? That's insane, man.
That's what they do. That's where they make all their money. That's how the minor league stadiums basically they make all their money in a month.
But you said they sell out.
Minor league games, there's like 20 people. Yeah, the spring training games all sell out
because the retired folks and people taking their vacations, I guess, getting away.
Yeah,
from
dude, I'm not sitting first row for $60 either. The first row seats are like $100.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sitting off like first base for $60.
Was that always like that?
Since I have been here, yes.
How many years is that?
Let's see. I have lived in Florida since 2011. I've lived in Florida, and I've been going to spring training games since like 2013 or 2014. And every time that I go to a spring training game, it's sold out. And you better believe if you go to a New York spring training game, if you're going and the Mets and the Yankees are there, like they sell way more tickets than there are seats. You can't even move. I went to a Yankees Cardinals game last year. I had to stay. I brought my son and my daughter. We had to stand the whole time. And like I was like butt to butt with John Mozeliak. Like I couldn't even get away from him. He probably farted on me, and I like couldn't even move. Because like it was like sardines. You can't even move. Someone spilled my beer though. Like someone hit me and spilled my beer, and then they bought me a new one. So that was cool. They were not like the prototypical New Yorker about it. They were like, "Oh man, like yeah, sorry man, I'll get you." He went and got me a new one. I was like, "Okay, cool." So he wasn't a dick about it. So
that's too bad. That's too bad. Tim is such a victim down there in Florida, having to pay money to go watch baseball while we're all freezing to death.
No, I'm not trying. I'm trying not to pay money. I'm trying to tell everybody to buy my prospect package so that you're funding. So you're funding my spring training views. If you want to know what's going on in spring training and you want the nitty gritty, then you got to buy the prospect package.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Make sure you sign up to MLB Data Warehouse. Let's peace out so John can watch some TV.